want me to introduce you as an astrologer, right? This is Traversing the Strange World with Peace and Toodles. All right, welcome back to another episode of Traversing the Strange World with Peace
and Toodles. That's me.
All right, today we have Meggie Thompson on the show today. She's an astrologer. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, glad to be here.
So how long have you been studying astrology?
I have really been a student of astrology my whole life. Even as a kid, I was sort of hooked on it. It wasn't until recently, in the past couple years, that I've really gotten weird about it and learned all the ins and outs. Not all of the ins and outs. You could really study it your whole life, but that's when I started getting serious.
What first got you interested in it when you were younger?
It was actually, my mom set me up with a reading from a really very famous astrologer in Colorado. And I was really young, so at the time I didn't know who I was. But as my life went on, there were things that happened, etc., that I'd learn about myself and say, oh my God, that's what this astrologer said. So years later, I had finally looked her up and started treating myself to a reading every year and just kind of become my mentor. And I was kind of just hooked from there.
Very cool. Very cool.
What were some of those things where you noticed, hey, this is what she said? Were they like just coincidences or?
No, it's more things about
prediction
myself.
Of some kind? Or?
More things about myself. So she did my full birth chart reading. What that means is...
Yeah, what's that?
It's like taking a snapshot of where all the planets were in the sky based on what time exactly you were born. So this is unique to everyone. The way we look at a birth chart is where all the planets are placed. And well, we have our sun sign, which is what everybody knows. There's moon sign, which is our emotional self. There's Venus, our planet of love, etc., etc. So we look at where these planets are placed and their relationship to each other to kind of define characteristics. So as I grew up and learned who I was more and more, the one that comes to mind the most is that I was going to go through kind of, very much a dark side and a difficult time and get to the dark side and make it back years later. And
the hero's journey.
I certainly found that's when I was like many years back and found myself at a place that rock bottom. And I was like, I think this might be what she's talking about. She also side. Told me I had kind of an antenna out to the other side, which I certainly do, but I've been afraid to explore that until recently.
The other side.
Yeah. I don't know how else to put it. Everyone has their own vision or thought of what it is, and I'm a huge fan of faith, so be it heaven or the universe or I don't know, the flip side, behind the veil, whatever
yes.
Behind the veil would probably be the right term.
Yeah.
So
does astrology teach anything about any of that afterlife, the great mystery, whatever?
Ooh, kind of. And I'm just digging into a lot of that right now. So it does, based on, we look at past lives, mostly. So for past lives, we look at asteroids. In addition to planets, there are different asteroids we notice, as well as the north and south pole of the moon. And it sort of tells us about what past life experiences you may have and be bringing those concepts into this life with you. As far as forecasting goes, we look at what's going on in the sky right now. So where's Mars and what's moving? And that's a transit, meaning we can it's predictive. That's the predictive side.
And what defines that? What causes somebody to be like an Aries to be like an Aries? Do you know?
That
or
is.
do you have any speculations?
So that's a great question. Upon learning about this, and one of the things I'm constantly doing is trying to convince people that it's in fact has some legitimacy. Astrology is in fact the foundation of modern astronomy, and they would long ago, this is how they created the Greek calendar. And what they did, the astronomers of the time built these huge tall towers out of wood, and they'd hang out up there for I don't know how long, a while,
A long time.
watch the stars. Meanwhile, they could see people and interactions down below them, and they started noticing patterns. Oh, look, people born, they'd look up, they'd see, here's the constellation Scorpio. When it is straight ahead and over our heads, it's November. And the people born in this time seem to have these characteristics. Kind of. Yes? So I also always like to tell people, this is cool. So how do the planets have an effect on us? And how does why do we care if Mercury is retrograde? So I like to tell people who are question the whole deal. So human blood, let me rewind. We all know, hopefully, that the moon controls the ocean tides. So as the moon orbits, it sucks out all the water and then spits it back in. So the moon's essentially controlling the ocean. Human blood is exactly the same salt content as the ocean. So how on earth could we suggest that the moon is not affecting us? And they're in other planets.
What do you mean human blood is the same?
Like we have the blood is the same salt content as the ocean.
Oh, I see.
Isn't that
The
weird?
moon's making the tide go in and out because of gravity. It's going to be affecting your blood the same way.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that's how.
It's a little bit of trivia.
Are we in high tide or low tide right now?
Well, I don't know that much. I'm not near enough the water.
So I'm an Aries, and Aries that's the Greek for Mars. Mars is the Roman for Aries. What would that have had to do with the planet Mars when Isaiah was born?
So Mars is the ruling planet of Aries. Each of the planets have sort of a sign they belong to. They're the boss of, let's say. Mars and Aries go hand in hand. Many similar characteristics. Mars is the planet of war, survival, and action. So our Aries fire sign, I love my fire signs. I'm Sagittarius, so we would have fun together. Aries is kind of the knight in shining armor very often, the one who, the first responder when it's time to take action and many other people are going to hesitate and question themselves. Aries is going to do it. They can be very impulsive. They can be a bit temperamental sometimes, but usually it blows off quickly.
Jonathan probably won't agree that I'm temperamental at times.
Well,
You're the most calm. You wouldn't hurt a fly, and the world would be burning up around him, and he'd want to, just meditate or make some tea or something.
It's not true. I can be probably a bit of a pain in Jonathan's butt when it comes to the podcast at times, and just I treat the podcast like a business, and whatnot. And not that Jonathan doesn't, but
Communication.
I can be a bit anal.
You're a great communicator. So great that it becomes too much sometimes.
Well, okay.
No, every day he's got ideas about something for an episode. He's got lists of Marie sent me pictures of these release dates when we were barely getting started. Like, we had nothing, no experience, weren't really following a model or a course or anything, just what did our favorite podcasters sound like they did? That was pretty much it. Sending me lists of release dates, lists of episode ideas.
Not afraid to start.
Almost crying when I wouldn't give him ideas.
Not afraid to start. Everybody needs a leader.
I get very obsessed with something when I like if it's something that I want to do, I get obsessed with it.
You're a born leader.
Whether it be my business, whether it be gym life, anything. The podcast, super obsessed with it.
Love it.
I'll wake up and check views and subscribing numbers at 2 or 3 in the morning. That's just so.
That's how we get it done, right?
Speaking of follower numbers, I noticed Nate Visen's up there like 250 now.
250. Wow. If you haven't checked out Nate Visen yet, if you haven't checked out his music, you definitely should.
Exactly. Little shout out.
So,
what would a Cancer be?
I'm an Aries. Can you guess what Jonathan is? You did earlier with Darla. You guessed what?
Well, I guessed wrong. I guessed Taurus. She was a Gemini. And I'll be honest, I guess a lot, and I am right about every, 20th time, and I just fake it. I'm like, yeah, I'm really good. Ooh. Yeah, so.
Jonathan is also a Gemini, right? When's your birthday?
I am cheating because I just heard you say you're a Cancer, right?
Oh.
So what, June, July?
June 22nd.
Okay. Cool.
I heard. I must have been
just barely a Cancer, so you're almost a Gemini, right?
Yeah.
So that's right on we call it the cusp. What that means is you kind of come with 2 signs in one. Gemini and Cancer are a nice combination. Cancer is sort of the caregiver, the nurturer. Very kind, very probably homebody. You're not out to start a fight. You're not out to hurt anyone ever. You want to fluff someone's pillow on some level. The Gemini is kind of the dynamic. There's a lot of duality there. I say good twin, bad twin, but there's more than just 2. It's very sort of the storyteller. You're interested in all different people, non-judgmentally, because you're interested. So that's a really cool combination.
It's Jonathan to the T.
Yeah, pretty much.
Great.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
What's your sign?
I am a Sagittarius all day long. Also a fire sign. Sagittarius is the centaur.
Real quick.
So, yeah.
When are Sagittarius?
Just good question. Sagittarius are November 21st through December 21st.
Fall gale.
Pardon?
Fall gale.
Yeah, fall, winter, yeah. So I'm a December 2nd.
Oh, wow.
And smack in the middle there. Sagittarius is represented by the centaur, so the man horse, essentially, and that is pretty correct. I am a bull in a china shop. We're a lot of fun. We love to be outdoors.
They're also
have freedom.
Known archers, though.
Also known archers, and that is why we're scary, because if you piss us off, then we fire the arrow. It will go directly to the jugular, because we have a way of speaking the truth in a really mean way, which I later regret, but it just happens sometimes.
Is that the symbolism of the?
That's kind of the symbolism and sort of the dark side of the Sagittarius. Otherwise, lots of friends, generally good-spirited and secretly very smart.
So what's the dark side of Cancer?
Cancers can tend to isolate. In my opinion, that's okay, but almost to a detrimental level. because you are sort of internal processing, that is your sort of reset. Sometimes you get, yes, exactly. Not all the time, but and you kind of get sort of stuck in there. In doing so, you're quiet, even around people when you are. So often people don't know how you're feeling. And often that comes across as, oh my gosh, he's mad at me, or she's mad at me, or something is going on. When in fact you're just sort of cogitating in your own brain. That's the really only one for Cancer. Let's think about Gemini. Gemini, good twin, bad twin, as they say. Gemini can switch, not on a dime, but you can be the most gentle, fun-loving. When he is good, he is very, very good. And when he is bad, he is rotten. Sort of.
What's the dark side of Aries?
Aries, my warrior.
I can't argue with a thing that you said either. By the way.
The isolation, definitely, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. That's something as... Not so much... It didn't stand out when me and Jonathan were younger. So he moved back here after... 6 years? Yeah, so for most of like our coming into manhood, like we had hung out when we teenagers, early 20s, but a lot of the years that me and him were coming into manhood, he was all the way out in Arizona and I was here in Michigan. And I didn't realize it until we started hanging out more as adults that what was the word you used? Come in. Stilly's here.
Oh.
In terms of like, they shut up the
isolate.
Yes. That is a big part of the Jonathan, the machine, the gear of the machine that is Jonathan is the isolation.
Cogitate in my own mind.
Yes, right. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Personally, I retreat for a few days sometimes too. But
he's a songwriter too. So I think that's a big part of it.
Good,
you know?
Kind of a poet.
Yep.
Because you have that gentle poet side to you. Kindness, which is unfortunately a rare thing. So keep that. Huh.
I don't know if...
Keep stomping down that evil twin that's so spiteful.
Oh, sometimes let him out to play. You know, you got to let that stuff out sometimes. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Perfect.
Yin and yang, you gotta balance it. I was showing her my yin yang tattoo. I have one on my shoulder.
All right, so my Aries.
Yes, the dark side.
The warrior. Not unlike Sagittarius, number one, you can make impulsive decisions. Make sure to look before you leap when possible. And I don't want to say pick your battles, but if and when you feel that fire sign ready to go get them, take a step back, evaluate, is this a worthy cause? Mm-hmm. Because when you do get on your horse and go get them, you're going. And that's one of your superpowers, but it is also something to you have to use it wisely, shall we say.
I would say that's true. I would say I have a pretty long fuse, but when it gets short, I have to think, do I really want to throw this grenade or whatever, you know?
Exactly. It seems like you've got it pretty under control anyway, but
I usually think of something really mean to say or do, and then it's like, well, that'd be pretty mean, and then I don't do it. I don't do it because I think of how I'd feel if somebody said such thing to me. But
compassion, another very rare trait. Keep that.
It's not going anywhere.
I'd say you're one of the more compassionate people I've ever met.
I'd say the same about you.
Look at this bromance happening in front of me.
We're podcast hosts.
I know.
He tries to hit on me sometimes.
No, it's nice to see
little shorts
friends.
In the studio and it's like...
Oh, God.
It's my gym. I do powerlifting. And so part of for powerlifting, you have to wear... They ask you to wear tight shorts so that they can see your form when you squat down low. And so all my gym shorts, they're pretty small, pretty tight. And Jonathan, any time we're doing an episode and I'm wearing my gym shorts, he has to say something about it. Just makes him feel uncomfortable.
Out in the skivvies.
So you mentioned the signs earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You're a fire sign.
I am.
Are the signs just the elements?
They are. So each of the signs is tied to an element.
Why is the moon connected to emotion?
Well, it's so in astrology, on your birth chart, in addition to the placement of where the sun was, it shows where the moon was and all the other planets. But your moon, the moon sign, is really equally as important as sun sign, because while your sun sign is who you identify as outwardly, your moon sign tells you who you are emotionally. So sometimes you could be a Leo on the outside, performer, hello, and on the inside a quiet Taurus that sort of retreats and processes emotions more slowly and slow and steady. Sometimes it's all Aries. Sometimes it's an interesting combination, but it's kind of your emotional self, how you feel underneath it all.
You were saying the earlier, like the fire sign, that's the you that the people see on the outside, and the moon is the people, the you in private, right?
Well, yes. So each sign has an element tied to it. Sagittarius and Aries are fire signs, as well as Leo. Cancer, oh my gosh, Cancer's water sign? Yes.
When's your birthday, Stilly?
August 19th.
August 19th.
August 19th, you're Leo. Yes? Barely. Leo. We have 3
Barely
fire
Leo.
signs. Leos, they're fun too. You're my favorites. You're a good tipper, probably.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Stilly, our
All right,
our troll
Stilly.
host.
So, Stilly, I'm sorry, what's the day again?
19th.
August 19th. So, Leo, right by Cancer? No. Yep. So, almost Cancer, but mostly Leo. Leos are the performer, the child, not in a way like your naughty child, but in a you don't ever lose your childlike enthusiasm, shall we say. You're good at being the center of attention, sense of adventure. You like to go have fun. Leo's all about pleasure and performing and enjoying life. So, represented by the lion.
Hedonist?
I hope not. Leos, here's your dark side.
Yes.
You can have a tendency to be overspenders, shall we say. You and I share in common, you can lean towards things like alcoholism, overeating. We love food. We love to drink. We love to have fun. Love to spend money. You and I have that in common. We do a little bit too. So that's the fire element. Then if we're looking at water, water is more peaceful and fluid. You have a calmness to you. So that's kind of how we've also got earth and air signs. So it's all
water.
You are a water sign. Yes. Almost Gemini, which would be air.
And I'm a fire sign?
Fire sign. We're like feisty and,
And then there's the air and earth.
Air and earth. Air signs are intelligent and naturally sort of a nice disposition to be around. Then we have earth signs. Earth signs are inclined to peaceful souls and kind of step back and think things through look before you leap. So they're kind of additions to each sign of the zodiac.
What do you think kind of power makes these things possible? Like is it simply an alignment of stars and then the energy from that affects a person's personality.
That is
like
the
it just
concept.
concrete law of the universe.
That is the concept here. Yes.
Nothing like supernatural or.
It's not. In fact, it was really is the foundation of modern day astronomy.
Do you think these different names of the constellations are like actual beings or anything, or
they are
consciousness?
actually named from Greek mythology. So each sign of the zodiac has a constellation represented, and that is how they mapped the sky. And up on their wooden towers, they would look up in, November. There's Scorpio, the constellation, straight above them. So then as Scorpio would move across the sky throughout the year, it's their way of mapping the sky, sort of. And all of the planets, I think this is amazing. They tracked the movement of the planets by geometry. So there's all kinds of, it's all about the angles at which the planets are to each other that add things to it. There's also the forecasting side of astrology, which is like what we see when we get a horoscope. That's all about what the planets are doing right now in the sky. So, in my opinion, yes, that's got to have some crazy power going on if a planet is swooshing by, even if it's so far away. Think of it as if you're standing on a street corner and a school bus, semi goes buzzing by you. So think of that suck that goes along with it, and
The momentum.
the blow.
The momentum.
Conversely, the blow. So it's all suck and blow. That's what it's all about.
Aerodynamics.
Kind of, yeah.
Physics.
Suck and blow.
Got something you were going to say?
Not really. Just kind of contemplating it,
No gods involved?
No god specifically. If you get back into the mythology of things, of course, there's all the Greek gods tied to that. The faith I find in it is getting the astrology reading. It helps you sort of know yourself. In my case, an example I use when one of the readings I got from my astrologer years back, it was before I uprooted my life and moved out here. So she said, you're going to go through a huge change, huge shift of everything. We don't know what that is. She said, but during this time, everything's going to be new and you're going to be frustrated, and keep telling yourself this is a learning curve, learning curve, learning curve. So go down the road. Here I am, uprooted my life. Everything's upside down. And I would think of Phyllis saying, learning curve, and it would get me through it. So whether or not that's true or false, it got me through things like that. And to me, that is faith in itself. So there's a lot of other things like that, just sort of planting seeds to new ideas.
Do you think familiarizing yourself with your astrological sign and like discovering more about yourself in that way as it pertains to those signs, like if it calls you to a higher purpose of some kind? Or
I think it can.
Guides your life a little bit as far as decisions you make?
I think it can, absolutely. And part of what I do in a reading is sort of help identify people's superpowers. What that means is, let's say a particular chart has a lineup that means they have an incredible ability they're out ahead of the rest of us. They are, let's say they're Lewis and Clark, and everybody else is still in the village. So sometimes this person may not realize that they have this foresight so much. Therefore, they might be frustrated over and over again. Why isn't everybody else up here seeing the Rocky Mountains ahead of us? Well, they can't. So if we identify this is a gift of yours, try to be more patient with people and understand they don't see what you see yet. don't take no for an answer. Just come back and keep explaining your piece, and you'll be more successful. So things like that, kind of. Yeah.
Maybe, get more precise in your aim and how you deliver the warning, maybe.
Absolutely.
Because it's not, maybe if somebody's giving a warning to people, it's not entirely that about the people that aren't listening to the warning, but how it's being delivered,
Absolutely.
The best teachers know how to accurately represent the information they want somebody to learn in a way that's most receptive to the person they're trying to teach.
Absolutely right, for sure. And it's tricky. I always try to be very respectful of anybody and everybody's religious beliefs, spirituality. Because once I get going, then I, talk all about past lives and this. But that's just my beliefs. Who knows?
So you do believe in past lives?
Oh, yes. I certainly do.
So reincarnation?
Oh, yes. Very much.
Do you think you're going to reincarnate again?
Oh, boy. Well, I can't pretend I have it all figured out. So it depends how you look at it. I personally am more Buddhist take on things, that we're going through this lifetime with some purpose, some karmic stuff we're trying to accomplish. Who knows? And, how many times you come back or why. But part of what I see in a birth chart is honestly how many times you've been around this planet. But who knows?
How many times do you think you've been around?
Oh boy, at least 182 million. No, I feel like I am an old soul, but I think I don't know. I couldn't possibly say. There's all kinds of very cool past life interactions and what is it? I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a session. People that do this past life healing stuff.
Past life regression?
That's
therapy?
it. Thank you. Yes. And I obviously am not the expert on that, but I think it's fascinating.
Years ago, I heard a rabbi talk about it. Rabbi Laser Brody. Shout out to Rabbi Laser Brody.
Laser?
Laser, that's his name, man. Laser is, comes from Eliezer in Hebrew. El means God, Laser means servant, God's servant. Huh. So Laser just means, it's Hebrew for servant. So Rabbi Laser Brody, on an episode of his podcast, he was actually talking about past life regression therapy. And because reincarnation, it's not an idea that's foreign to Judaism. In Judaism, there's this idea of a soul correction. So rather than that you live life once, and if you're good, you go to heaven, and if you're bad, you go to hell, Judaism teaches, at least aspects of Judaism teach that we have a soul correction. Long ago, when Adam and Eve sinned, there's a fragment of everyone's soul that was broken a little bit. And in a certain sense, we're all part of Adam and Eve's broken soul. Like, we're all part of Adam's soul that's broken. And we all have a little piece of him in us. And the purpose of reincarnation is a soul correction. Every life you go through, you make tikkun olam, which is Hebrew for repairing the world. So you have a little soul correction. Sometimes it's even just one little deed that somebody lived that life just to perform that one deed because it was a correction they needed to make for their tikkun olam, their repairing of the universe.
Sounds kind of similar, yeah. There's a lot of past life theories that you come in to different lifetimes with the same people, so to speak, like a family almost, which I think is very interesting because have you ever met somebody that you just know? I know you, it's immediate, and who knows? Or deja vu things. Anyway, that's just...
What do you think deja vu is?
I think it's probably some kind of past life. Maybe it's like a glitch in the
Matrix.
Somehow I think it's something telling you that you're in the right place. You're doing what you're supposed to do. But who knows? What do you guys think it is?
Or maybe you're in the wrong place.
Or maybe you should run away. I don't know. But that's something we should all tune into, probably.
I heard somewhere that it was like every time you experience deja vu, it's just because you were in the exact same situation as you were in some other reality somewhere.
Ooh, that's a concept.
Interesting. Interesting. I've heard it could be a sign of schizophrenia, but we're gonna veer away from that.
Probably
one.
that too.
I've heard. There's this idea that Carl Jung talked about of the collective unconscious. To where it's like everyone who ever has lived or will live or does live, we all like that. Our consciousness in a certain sense. I'm not going to try to explain. Well, I am trying to explain it, but
like everybody's experiences get put into this holding area.
Yeah.
The collective unconscious. So when it's your time to die, your consciousness goes up there too. But you now can share all these experiences that other people had in their lives.
Or even
too.
certain parts of your unconscious, like little kids being scared of monsters in the closet or underneath the bed. It's because for millions of years, little baby humanoid creatures are at nighttime probably getting snatched up by monsters, per se, some sort of big, scary animal.
Chupacabras.
And there's so like a lot of our like intuition or our, some of our strong impulses, they say, is like it might be from thousands, millions, billions of years of evolution and people going through the same situation. But then there's some people get a lot more spiritual, a lot more far out with it, to where it's like that's actually like the dating bank of like knowledge and experiences, to where a shaman we interviewed a couple months ago, he spoke of being able to go on the like spiritual plane and interact with people from around the world. Almost like it's like
From The Doors. Did you see The Doors movie? Never mind. Jim Morrison.
I love the band The Doors.
Okay.
Jim Morrison.
There's a movie with Val Kilmer. It's an old one, he's Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison spoke
really good.
Jim Morrison spoke a lot about like the archetypes, like the shaman, the lizard man, and whatnot.
Yeah, he was definitely doing all kinds of psychedelics. Who knows? But good for you, Jim Morrison.
He was a good poet.
Absolutely right. Right. So kind of listening to what you are all saying, and it's something I've been recently exploring, and I think it's fascinating, and it's something that's easy to experiment with. It's kind of falls into the category of quantum science, which sounds like a big deal. But it's all about energy. So we all put off a frequency, an energy. The earth puts off an energy. This is science. Everything has its own energetic field. So the concept is when you are putting out an energy, that is what you will receive. So if you're saying, I don't know if I should go for this job, I feel like I might be stupid, and what would I wear, and she's better than me, that's what you're going to get in return, over and over again, a cycle, where if you can change it and change the narrative and say, even better, the manifestation concept, as if you had already gotten the job. I got the job, everything's great, my hair looks fabulous, and everybody's so impressed with me, and I'm very popular and pretty, and everything's great. No. If you do all those things, then the concept is it will come back to you that way. I think it's pretty amazing, the things you can kind of bring to fruition if you try to focus on, we're back to suck and blow. Blow the positive out there and see what. I'm working on money right now. The concept is that if you find the penny on the street and you celebrate that, I have a penny, oh my gosh, woo! Your energy you're putting out is saying, I have money. The amount doesn't matter to whatever the ether. I have money. So supposedly it's supposed to bring back money. I haven't yet had that cash cow come in, but keep working on it.
I've heard it before. One of these business podcasts that I listen to, he's saying that absolutely every opportunity you get, you need to help somebody, but your perspective matters too, because he was saying the concept is if you look at somebody that's rich, you're like, wonder who they cheated to get there, or what must they have done that nobody knows about, behind closed doors. And he's saying that that's putting into the universe. You don't like the process of getting money.
You talking about Andy Frisella?
Yeah.
Sounds like something.
But if you switch it and you see a rich person, you're like, I'm glad they put in whatever effort they needed to get that money. They probably deserve it. Or
Nailed
think
it.
good for him. Then you're putting that energy into the universe that you want success, that you want to see other people, get to a better point in their life, and that'll come back to you.
Nailed it.
Somehow.
It's easier said than done
And
sometimes.
to piggyback off from that, like something we could do, like when you do clearly see somebody being unjust to like their employees, rather say to yourself, when I'm given that opportunity, I hope I have the strength to also be just, because rather than rather putting it into like, oh, this person's terrible, this is bad, you're manifesting those thoughts into future.
You're learning the lesson.
Yeah.
Unplugging from the negative, whatever you're doing, and plug that energy into
what
positive.
What were we talking about when you mentioned the Doors? Just a few minutes ago.
Psychedelic visits on. No, I don't think you said psychedelic.
Oh yeah.
That he can be on the other plane.
And it's interesting.
You got to see the movie.
I wanted to go back to that because I really this past winter, I was taking singing lessons last year, and I do a lot of karaoke to practice my singing.
How fun!
And Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Highwaymen. But I also the Doors. The Doors in terms of rock. They're my favorite band. I can't. Ever since when you brought Jim Morrison, I couldn't get Peace Frog out of my head.
I just go with the Mojo Rising. Mojo Rising.
I think that's L.A. Woman. Yeah, L.A. Woman.
Yeah, check out the movie. It's a good one.
Val Kilmer plays Jim Morrison.
Yeah, it's really one of Val Kilmer's best. Check it out.
I like a lot of Jim Morrison's stuff he does where it's like spoken word poetry. It's like the music. But yes. So it is. I saw this video on YouTube where they were talking about how Jim Morrison, he spoke of these different characters in his music. And a lot of them were, I guess, like archetypal characters, like the archetypes that Carl Jung would talk about, which I think maybe I'm connecting two things together that aren't connected, but I think those are connected to the zodiac, or to maybe he was connecting that those characters that take place in his songs. They're like the archetypes from the tarot cards. Those have archetypal characters, yeah?
Yes, and yes to both. The concept of archetypes, it can be applied to a number of these different concepts, but it's sort of categories of humans. The caregiver, the warrior, the clown, the performer, these things. Excuse me. They are tied to signs of the zodiac in that I actually sort of worked with it to give each sign some archetypes. Who falls under this particular sign? Taurus is our earth spirit. Pisces is our mystic, the whimsical poet. Capricorn is the father, the authority figure. Aquarius, we have my eccentric geniuses and the rebel. So it helped me upon learning about astrology, and when doing a reading, talking like things like this, it helps explain it to whomever we're talking to in a nutshell instead of going so far.
Is that all of them?
No, I've got, let's see, should we do all of them?
Sure, yeah.
Okay,
Just for anybody out there listening so they can,
astrology, let's see, our first sign, it's weird backwards concept it's not clockwise, but first sign of the zodiac is Aries. Aries is the survivor, the warrior, and the leader. I'm trying to think of what else we have for my Aries. He's the action taker. Taurus is the next sign, an earth sign, and Taurus is the musician, the earth spirit, and the writer. Quiet, slow, and steady wins the race for Taurus. Gemini, we have the journalist, the storyteller, and the intellectual. Cancer, the caregiver, the nurturer, and the mother. Next is Leo.
Mother.
Leos are the performer, the child, not as in childish, but maybe childish in a good way. You know how to play, and that's so important. The performer, we said that. The singer. Then we come to Virgo. Virgo is the perfectionist, not scientist. They are organizationally gifted. I'm trying to think of the archetype. But the perfectionist. They own more than one label maker. Let's put it that way. All Virgos. We've got Libra. Libra is all about weighing the scales, justice, the judge. Also, very loving about friendship and relationships. Scorpio. Scorpios are very mysterious. They're still waters run deep, if you've heard that saying. But they're the not transformer,
Mutator?
No, close.
Sender?
Transcender. I'll have to come back to it. I can't remember. Scorpios are also about like very secretive and a lot of sexy time stuff with Scorpios. Transformation. Transformationer? Whatever.
Transformative?
Yes, something like that. Sagittarius, philosopher. You're
the Sagittarius?
I am.
Yes.
So, philosopher, the traveler, and the joker. Let's see, we're almost there. We've got Capricorn, the serious-minded goat. Capricorn is the father, the authority figure, the teacher. Aquarius, lots of fun. We all know them, we all love them. There are eccentric geniuses. The rebel. Sometimes the outsider, more because they are out way far ahead of the rest of us. They're the ones that go invent Velcro. Pisces, last one, is the intuitive, the mystic, the poet. I think that covers it. How was that? That was like a pop quiz.
Very good. Very good.
Whew.
You're on top of your...
I am obsessed with it. Can you tell?
Just a little.
Obsessed with it. I think if it's good with you guys, I'm talking too much, but I warned you.
You're a podcast guest. You're here to talk.
Woo, I love it. I'm going to, because I've got to start to wrap it up so I can make it to my next thing. I would like to suggest, because we have so much going on right now astrologically, that is causing all kinds of planetary influences to all of us. So I would like to kind of run through that so we can all kind of hopefully have some insight into what's
Please do.
going on. Okay.
Certainly.
So, recently, we're going through all kinds of things that have not happened in hundreds of years. And these strange, rare alignments are occurring all at the same time. Things are shaken up in a good way, but it's all over the place. We just went through an eclipse, new moon, and let's see, we also had several planets involved in that. Eclipses are a kind of karmic course correcting situations. The concept of this eclipse was to kind of suck out all the remaining toxins, shall we say, whatever things in your life need to no longer serve your highest good. This is because this eclipse is in fact got a healing intention. It's going to, as it moves forward, be healing any wounds within us that just it's time to move on. So in some ways it's like I use this metaphor sometimes, but the giant redwood forests, they only drop their seeds in the heat of an intense forest fire.
Oh, wow.
So those huge trees live through fires, but they only drop their seeds when they know there's going to be space for their babies to grow. So this eclipse is almost like the remains of this huge forest fire and some smoldering ashes, and you look around and it's like, ah! In fact, it's good because now we're going to start seeing the healing, the new growth in each of our redwood forests.
Good.
So hang in there.
It's a whole
Right,
story.
right.
Happy ending in sight.
Yeah,
Makes me think of Ragnarok, the story of the Nordic apocalypse. There's this great war. A giant wolf consumes the moon. Thor battles the giant sea serpent Jormungandr. Odin fights the wolf that consumed the moon, and then Heimdall at the World Bridge, he fights the dragon, the fire demon Surtur, and the world is consumed by fire from this battle. But in the world tree, I can't remember the Nordic name for it, but within the world tree,
Tree of Life.
this here actually.
I have that.
Within the bottom of this here,
I have that.
there's a boy and a girl that hide underneath the roots of the tree from the fire, and then from all of that, new life starts again.
Huh.
Yeah,
How about
a new beginning.
How about that?
So,
All right.
Different people telling the same story.
yeah.
Hey, gotta love it.
So the stuff that you talked about that's going on right now, how long has it been since?
Oh boy. Well, I'll tell you this much. This eclipse has started us all on a new 19-year cycle. Prior to this, we were having some shifts in the big one, and this was part of this year, was Pluto's transit from Capricorn into Aquarius. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the very old song, The Age of Aquarius.
Yes.
Okay, YouTube that because the video is so worth it.
Kind of like a disco song.
It's like, it's so funny.
70s.
It's all these like hippies out in quote outer space, but it was made in the 60s or 70s, so it's check that out. Do yourself a favor. Anyway, so we're now in this age of Aquarius, meaning everything's going to get a little bit more metaphysical and woo-woo, as I say. But that one has not happened in 290 some years. So then there was some other movements. We're having a lot of planets move into different signs of the zodiac this year. So the shifts that are happening all over the board are kind of starting new cycles. What area of life that means for each of us depends on your birth chart. Where does everything fall? But overall, this is going to be the start of a new 19-year cycle. And necessary significant endings might have to happen in order for the new beginnings to start taking place.
Interesting. I feel like I keep saying that I feel like we're about to go into like a new age, a different time. So things in the world are about to change on a big level, you know. Things that have been the way they have been for a really long time, I don't think are going to be that way anymore. I don't know what it is. You know, I think technologically that's going to be a part of it. I think governmentally, I think governments are perhaps going to do things differently. One thing I wanted to say, maybe this is out of place, but a few weeks ago I was at a Zach Bryan concert. He's a country singer that I like. But he had a stand-up comedian opening. It's been a lot of different musical artists. They've been bringing a lot of stand-up comedians on tour with them. It was Shane Gillis when he was up there giving his comedy, doing his stand-up. There's this feeling that I felt in the air, and it's been that way when I'm in like huge groups of people. Like this stadium, this was Notre Dame, and I think it was 80,000 people were in there. And I felt like there was like this tension in the air that you could cut with a butter knife. Like at almost any moment, people could just break out like fighting. And this was a country music concert, you know, as a comedian telling, you know, anyone who's familiar with Shane Gillis, some might take offense to some of his jokes, some might not. I don't think that's what it was, though. I think it was it being such a big crowd of people, of probably just like differing beliefs, differing outlooks on life, and I don't know what it was, but there was this tension in the air. I felt like you could cut with a butter knife, and it's been a couple times that's happened when I'm in a big crowd of people, and I just feel like something is about to happen that we should pay mind to, you know? I don't think so. No. I've been like when I saw a certain band in Chicago a few years ago, I'd say it was an equal amount of equal audience size, and I've never felt that feeling in huge crowds of people. But it's just something about, like, I felt like that feeling was unique to something going on right now. Like, it was like, it's in the air, you know, you feel it. It's not even just the people. It's just something in the air.
When was it?
It's 2 weeks ago. It was either the week before or the week after Charlie Kirk got shot. I think it was before, though. I think it was before. If anything, I think that happening is just a byproduct of like this tension that you feel, you know, that happening. That's not causing that feeling, but that's the result of that. I don't know.
What stadium?
It was the Notre Dame stadium down at the Notre Dame College. It's huge. 80,000 people were in there.
Maybe they built that thing on the intersection of some ley lines, and that's just amplifying something that's already there.
But I will say I was experiencing quite a few different feelings that night. Like when Zach Bryan was singing, like I said, I felt like I learned something new about singing.
As your astrologer, I would tell you it was Mars causing the tension.
Okay, all right.
I mean, if we're going there.
Well, that's a good route.
Mars was in fact making an aspect right at that time.
That's a good route that we could take to
so,
it with it.
Mars, the planet of warrior planet, could have been stirring around some energy up there.
Interesting.
And you just have to, then you can kind of wait it out, hopefully, and have, what did you say was that you said about singing? Your line about the concert?
When the singer came out, I enjoyed it so much. It was one of my best concerts I've been to, and I've been, practicing singing, trying to learn how to sing, and I said when I heard him sing, I felt I learned something new about singing.
See, and so you came through the Mars influence, and then our Venus swooshes in, planet of love and beauty. And there you were. You're then, oh, this is beautiful and magical.
Well, I will.
That's my astrological answer.
Okay, all right. We'll wrap this show up. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Oh, this was
and
fun.
sharing your
Thank you.
information.
You want to do our final segment?
The music?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Musical suggestions.
let's do that real quick. You got some songs you want to suggest to people?
Sure. Gosh, this is tough. Well, are we going to close it up with that song?
Yes.
Well, I think obviously we
won't
got to
play
do
the
LA
song
Woman.
here. We
Right.
won't play
No,
the song
yeah,
on the
yeah.
podcast.
Oh,
We just
okay.
let-
Just the
Songs.
songs people should check out. Songs.
The end of every
Right,
episode, we just have our musical recommendations.
While you're thinking about it, I'll say some. Love Her Madly by The Doors.
Got that one.
Soft Parade
The
by The
Doors,
Doors. It's just going to be The Doors.
I love Lay Down Sally by Eric Clapton. It's a good old one. Really anything Grateful Dead. Let's say that. Anything Grateful Dead. Let's start with Shakedown Street. Give it a try.
Uncle
Hands
Remus
out
by
there.
Frank Zappa.
Me?
Yeah.
Cliffs of Dover. Masterpiece of guitar work.
Close it down.
Eric Johnson.
All right.
All right, I'll
And
wrap.
Nate Visen. Gotta check him out.
Check out Nate Visen. All right, I'll wrap this up. Let's keep traversing this strange world with inquisitiveness and
Curiosity.
also a little bit of
There's a little bit of swag.
some swag. Yeah, let's remember to be neighborly to folks, because at the end of the day, we're all just strangers in a strange land. All right.
Strange land.
Until next time, peace.
Toodles. That's me.
Yay.
If you would like to contact us, email us at peaceandtoodles@gmail.com. Until next time, salutations, my fellow strangers.
What will they think of next?